Hi there, this is the Victats Podcast. This is a podcast about tatting, not the skin and ink kind of tatting, but the needle, shuttle, and thread kind of tatting. I'm podcasting to you from my home in Ottawa. It is May 25th, 2026. It actually was it was a gloomy, rainy kind of day this morning, but now it's actually cleared up and got quite sunny. I have a feeling it's going to get hot. It has been very humid, as you can tell by my hair. Okay. And yeah, and if I haven't already, sorry, I was just looking at my nails for a second. One is, if you see my nails and they're a mess, it's because I've been messing around out in the garden. And yep, so that's what's been going on. And if I haven't told you guys, welcome and thank you for watching. I have started a tatting group dedicated to three-dimensional tatting. I didn't started inviting people, but the list was just too long, so I just whatever. That's going well, but I just want to, if you are a member, I'd just like to invite you to post, because hey, the activity is good. Don't be afraid. There's been some things where things don't post always right away or whatever, but it's not because I'm a moderator that's aggressive. Also, I invite you to be brave and share, because hey, we're all there to kind of grow. Okay, so in the tatting stuff, what have I been doing? Okay, one is I'm working on a project that is three-dimensional, but is kind of I'm fiddling with, and it's over there, so it's not why that's why I'm not sharing it for any other reason other than that. Plus, I don't think it would be reflective in this kind of video. However, the other thing I'm tatting right now is because I am going to be at the Gathered Threads retreat in August. So I wanted to give my table mates something. So I am making a tatted, I was thinking, what am I going to give them? And I decided on a tatted, I'll give them some other things too, but a tatted, big chain. And the little flags I got, if you're Canadian, these are at, now I have not checked, taking some of those off, I've not yet checked this year, but these are usually at the Dollarama in the keychain section. So what I've been doing is at a bead store, each one of those stupid charms is $1. So what I did, and this is $1.50, so I actually just am taking them off here. And I will share the pattern, I think. Yeah, I'm planning on sharing the pattern, but I don't know. I didn't want to just do a long dangle, and I wanted to do something pretty. So these are, you can't tell, but these are crystals, Czech crystals probably. And then with some shiny beads there. I don't know that is entirely, oh look. I don't know if that's entirely reflected adequately. So how cool is that, right? So that's what I'm working on. So I think there's like tables of 8. So I'm gonna make 8 and then a couple more. I think this is the second time I've changed what I'm going to give out. But I figure, hey, they get lots of cross stitch stuff, but they may not get a lot of tatting stuff. The other thing I did not work on, but I have been working on, and so I don't know if I've shown it to you yet, is my little Queen Charlotte or Marie Antoinette, whatever you want it to be. But I have not yet wrote out the pattern. And so it's kind of like this. This may not mean anything to you if you are not a tatter, but it's kind of a jumbled, like a dog's. I think, was it Espace Tricot, the original owners used to say it's like a dog's breakfast. So it looks pretty cruddy right now, but what I want to do is make it into a adornment. So that is something that is going on. And then what was the other thing? Okay, and then the other thing is, and I'm hoping to share this in the next day or so on the three-dimensional tatters group, is my little taco. It's a taco. Taco Tuesday. for Taco Tuesday. Yep. So that's coming down the pipeline sometime soon. Fingers crossed. Why does it take me so long to do these things? Well, in all honesty, it's way more fun to tat than it is to share a pattern for me lately. It used to be more fun. Oh, and there's one other thing, but it's over there too. I have decided that, so I have this thing where I have to figure out how to make how to, you know, show off my cross stitch stuff without having to like frame it or any of that stuff. And so I realized my friend's father, a good friend of mine, actually, he was my friend too, he had passed away, but he had been a dry cleaner till 2022. So we have a ridiculous amount of hangers. So I've decided that I'm going to tat over the hanger and make that into a fancy hanger. So I'm just trying to test out different types of threads and that stuff. And I actually have an abnormal amount of crochet cotton because somebody passed away, and my mom lives in what's called a multi-care lodge. So they take care of you for most of your life. There's a point at which you can't live independently. You have to go to a nursing home, but they do quite a lot of care if needed. And so when somebody passes away or something like that, then they help to distribute the crafts and the stuff. An abnormal and heartbreaking amount of antiques go because 1-800-GOT-JUNK comes and picks it up, a lot of stuff up, and actually gets thrown out the window into a garbage dump, which is heartbreaking. So that is sad, but it's just because there's only so much time the rooms have to be cleared by and they have to be rented out. And so that is sad, but a lot of the stuff that they can find that, say, if the family isn't taking, they can move on to people. They work really hard to do that. So I end up with a lot of weird stuff. So right now I have an abnormal amount of crochet cotton. And it's like the kind you get at like Walmart or whatever. It's not tatting thread. I mean, it's tattable. So I'm using it. I'm just testing it. It's one of the test things I'm doing. Anyways, that's a long way for me to say that. Okay, and then, oh my goodness, exciting times today. I have a finish. So here is my sorry, we're gonna move into cross stitch, by the way, now, in case I didn't mention that. This is my finish. This is by the Cottage Garden Samplings. And it's called the Clumsy Witch, and it's only available on our Etsy, okay? It's not, and why? I don't know. But one, I love it. Number two is all of the colors are based on what I thought they looked like. What I thought they were looking at the picture, because I didn't want to go buy a whole bunch of more threads. So so a lot of these colors that one I really love were probably kind of misinterpreting things. And then I kind of put things, I still think I did that by accident. Anyways, I kind of got things mixed up by accident. Actually, I did. Because I should have done, for this part here, where it kind of on her, one side of her face, which is the shadows, by the way. I think I should have been using the lighter beige here. But anyways, it doesn't matter. She looks amazing. And for the blacks, like the other animals and everything, I didn't want them to look completely the same, and you can't really tell in this thing, but they're all they're all different brands of black, so they're slightly different. And like the bat, it was a polyester black thread. I don't know if it makes a difference, but that's what I did. And then the other thing is that on this thing, it's supposed to be cross stitched up and around, and instead what I did is I just took the colors that she had made the broom out of and just kind of did it around. And it's kind of cute because the broom is kind of short, but this witch has been through a lot. That's why her broom is broken and this is tattered and her poor animals. And then I love these pumpkins, just FYI. Actually, I love this whole thing. So I think I would make each one of these little animals on here, I think could be, or like the cat and the spider could be a little pillow, and then these little pumpkins could be a little pillow. But I actually just love my witch too. So I actually did I miss a stitch there? I think I missed, no I didn't. Okay, did I miss a stitch? The hair color, I think I did miss a stitch. I don't know. The hair color is somewhat close to, it shows up in the picture really well actually, but it's somewhat close to the background, so, but, so that I might have missed a spot with that yellow. I'll have to check the chart. Anyways, dun dun dun. So happy, so happy. Yeah, I really enjoyed stitching this. I had a lot of fun. You know, as usual, some things feel like they take forever. The broom felt, or the dress felt like it took forever. But once I got like into like doing these guys, then things went really fast. The broom and the dress felt like they took forever. Okay, so that is my finish. The other thing I've been working on. Oh, I don't think I brought her. Oh yeah, I did, it's right in there. Okay. The other thing I've been working on is this, which is Autumn Night Garden by the Tiny Modernists. And I bought this pattern book from the Gathering Thread Stitches last year. So what do I have left to do? I have to fill in here. I have to do this moon. I have to do this leaf, do the outline. There's another border, it's a double border. And then I have to, I think I'm missing a leaf in here. Yeah, right in there. And then I just need to do in the butterfly. So I am super excited about that. So I think that will be done soon. And I'm finally understanding when people talk about, ooh, how about a feeling of accomplishment when they get like one part done? Because normally I'm like, really? You feel accomplished? But with this one I did. Kind of interesting. Yeah, and if you remember, I had made a mistake in here before, so I would have been closer to being done, or it would have been done, but I had to backtrack on this. I had to take a lot of stuff out. That was not, and it wasn't fixable. It was always going to be kind of weird, so, or I thought it was always going to be kind of weird. Maybe it wasn't. Oh, sorry, there's one more tiny thing I didn't show. That I'm working on. This is fun. Okay, so I'm kind of trying to start redo my beading collection of tatting, because that's, like, that's still a very bitter pill for me, is my whole bead collection. Anyways, okay. You know, because I had if you haven't watched my show before, I had a fire and lost lots of stuff. Not everything, because I had a cottage at the time. But I have started, and this, I would do it slightly, I don't know. When it blocks out, I'll see what it's like. But when I have just been working on this, and what I used is one of these, they're called rhinestone bands, I think. So I've just been doing, you know, joining along there. Now, one, I love the way this looks as it is, so hey, super excited. And I'm using Carrie Sullivan's hand-dyed thread, but I like the way these beads kind of hang out weird. So when this blocks, it might look a little bit better, because I'm going to block these guys out. So it's more caterpillar-y like. However, if I were to do, I might think about doing this again, or see, I don't know. There's not a lot of space in here, so you have to be, space is an issue in here, so you don't want to put too much crap in there. It's going to do something weird. Although you could really ruffle this up instead of having it lie flat. See, this is how my brain works, right? So that's why, like, sometimes things don't get done. But if you could layer, you could layer the stitches such that it would push the inside beads up. But anyways, okay, for this version, if I were to do it again, I would consider doing one row of tatting without beads first, and then the second row out here. But I don't know if that would sit the way I think it would. So yep. Anyways, okay, so that, I just wanted to show you that. And I think that's all I'm going to show you. Okay, I got some new bead mats. Yay! And I've kind of decided what I'm going to do is, I was at Wool Time, and it looks like they got a whole, okay, so I'm going to tell you about the Wool Time in a second. I will. Actually, I'll tell you about it now. Sorry. I was at Wool Time because for this project, because last year, I think it was last year, I had decided I needed to work in like silk. And so I wanted to use, because at Wool Time they had gotten the Avera Soie, so I wanted to use the Avera Soie. for this one project. So here it is. This is from Cross Stitch and Country Gardeners, and I happen to have this book not because I had noticed my this project, which is the one I'm going to do, but because I hope I still have the rest of the magazines. I hope I didn't get rid of them. I have to tell you the truth, when I was going to move, I dumped a lot of shit. Not dumped in the garbage, but dumped in, but I did it for this guy. This is why I kept him, because I thought it would be funny. Because I have a farming history, and this kind of looks like those farming pictures they put up. Isn't that cute? So cute. He's such a cute little piggy. Anyways, so I had gone to Wool Time last year with their booklet and their samples, and then their sample booklet, pulled all the DMC threads. Oh, sorry. Pulled all the DMC threads and then matched them up according to the booklet. But it turns out, hey, there was 2 colors that weren't there. That was 095 and 451. So I thought, oh, okay, they'll come in another time. And no, I went there today, and no. When I was talking to the lady there, whose name I'm forgetting, and I apologize, it's like Curling Stones and something, Sticks and Curling Stones, something like that. Anyway, she's on Instagram. But she said, no, I don't think she said, because then we looked in the book, she said, no, I think it's been discontinued. And we looked in the book and at the color, and I was just like, oh, can I just bring the pattern? Because what I don't want to do is I already have, like, say, the browns are very, oh, see, they look completely different here, but the browns are close enough depending on the shading and everything that, like they're all orangey browns and that stuff, and I don't want to make a mistake and get the wrong color. And then she's like, have you started it? And I'm like, oh, but of course I have. And she's like, oh, just bring it in then. Anyway, so part of what got me to figure out to get there today was because I had worked on this yesterday a bit, and the reason I want the 095 is because it's a lot. I like to move gradually to things and do the parts I want to do, and then come back, like depending on my mood. And the outside part here, there's a little zigzag thing that goes around, is that 095, and yep. And so I've been working down because I've been trying to get to the flowers, and I need the 095, but I can't use the 095. Now, I would go back today because they're open till 5 today, except, Ottawa is in the middle of construction season. And what happens here is that right about now outside, I'm going to be okay to go there because it's against traffic. And when I try to come back, it's all going to be backed up to hell across certain places because, hey, in the city of Ottawa's infinite non-wisdom, they decided to do construction on all the major commuter routes at the same time, down to like 1 lane. 1 lane each way, or 1 lane, period, when you're waiting for the stoplight. And yeah, that's how they think. Anyway, so construction has been, traffic has been a little crazy. And then on top of that, you may or may not be aware, but I don't like to call it back to work. I prefer to call it back to the office. There's a lot of back to the office mandates happening in the city of Ottawa that, you know, are, depending on who you talk to, might be unnecessary. But hey, people are going through. So, yeah, so, I'm not touching on traffic right now. Nope. Not worth it. I'll take my chances another day and see if she's here, because she works full time there. So I'll take my chances and see if she's there to help another day, or I'll just figure it out. Yeah. What I do find very weird about this place is Wool Time, which I've been going to for a long time, over 20 years. I love the place. They've recently expanded into cross stitch and everything, but I always find it so funny because it's weird to me, because my grandmothers, both of them, but one actually were huge craft people, but my grandma Easton could do everything, and she worked in a wool shop, and she could do everything in that wool shop. So when you go there and somebody's there and they're like, oh, I only knit or only this, it's so funny because like, you're like, well, how can you, like, you don't have to to know about the products in your store. It shouldn't be that you have to have that hobby. You would just know. But then I realized they have such a massive stock that of stuff that maybe it's impossible for you to know everything in the store. So it's Wool Time. It's here in Ottawa. I highly recommend this place. But the other thing I learned when I was there is two things. One, when I was there today, that's very worthwhile, and it's part of probably of an evil plan that will happen when I go back, is one, they had now they have a whole little spinny thing of the Mill Hill beads, which is a lot of beads, and where they only had a selection before. Fingers crossed they're going to get a whole spinny thing of Krynic. Because I want to do this one pattern that's a free pattern from Nora Corbett, the free bee from Nora Corbett. I want to do that, and I can't because they don't have any of those colors in the Krynic. And yes, I could fake it to make it, but I don't know. For some reason with that, I just want to do it the way they called for it. I don't know, I can't explain it. Anyways, so it's funny because normally I just do whatever I want, but I may yet do that. But the other thing they have is they have the bead packs, and the bead packs really cost more than just buying the beads, I think. But some of those beads are very specialty beads. Anyway, so what I was thinking I would do is, for the Mill Hill pattern that I have, or not Mill Hill, the Nora Corbett and well, I would say what her other pattern name was, but I have forgotten it. For those types of patterns, her patterns that I have, Nora Corbett's patterns that I have, Mirabilia, I might go buy the bead packs. And then use mine, because I have a whole bunch of discount cards. You know, when you fill up at Wool Time, when you go and you purchase, then they always give you like a little stamp on a card that when you fill the card up, they give you 15% off your purchase. Well, what I do with them is because I never do a big enough purchase that I feel that this is really necessary, that it feels like, ooh, a treat. I mean, I do, but I never think to use them. And I don't know why. I have this thing about using them. So I will often, if somebody says when they're there that this is the first time they're there, then if they leave at the same time as me, I will give them a full card, because I have a couple full cards. And I've done that a couple times now. And because I just figured that when they come back, it's like a treat, right? Because they're gonna come back. And the one lady, I remember she had a full, I wish I'd thought about it when she was purchasing, because it would have made her so happy, because she'd done a significant purchase. And it just makes them happy, right? Especially if there's somebody like in their 20s. Because hey, in my 20s, to get 15% off would have been huge. And even if I was only buying one thing. But yep. So anyways, I'm just saying is I might go and buy a whole bunch of the bead packs, or just look to see like how much, like, the bead packs aren't, the bead packs with the Mirabilias and the Nora Corbett's aren't actually, it's not a savings. In fact, I think it's the opposite. So I might just go and see what they have in terms of some of these beads and see if I can just put together my own kits. And but if I can't, then I'm just gonna buy the containers. They're packaged, they're together, and I don't know, think about it, and then use my discount card. I don't know, that might stress me out, because it's one thing just to have a $20 pattern or $25 pattern. It's a whole nother thing to put $80 into stuff just sitting around. So I might not do that. I don't know. Okay, back on track here. Okay, so that was my little offhand thing. So now I'm gonna go back with my whole kit and be like, okay, here's what we have. So I'm just thinking to myself, as you could see, probably. Okay, and then the other thing Now, I can't guarantee that, oh, okay, yeah, I'm already lying to you. I've worked on a couple other things, but they're not here either, so. Okay, so, I was gonna say, I can't guarantee you that I haven't worked on something else, and that is absolutely 100% true. The other thing I did do is if you remember, I had finished, or maybe I didn't upload that video, I don't know. I have a bad habit of not uploading videos, but, and then erasing them. I finished the Witchy Stitchers, I Love You for Your Brains, and I had realized that there was one little spot, because again, I like to have the background, I had the background kind of like a similar green, not a similar green, but a close enough that you could possibly not pick up that you missed a spot. And I missed a spot, or never got back to that spot for some reason. And so I filled that in. So that was another completion I've done. Okay, so this is a Cottage Garden Samplings, Seven Swans of Swimming. And I have started to, I'm really excited about this one. I have started to do the beak here, because this is going to be the head. Now, once I get this part done, then I'm going to come around, outline this, and there's one more kind of design that goes in here, and I can't remember if there's one that goes in here to do. And once that's done, then everything else is just fill in of white, which will be perfect. That's an easy enough thing to do. And I haven't decided yet. I decided I was not doing the Seven Swans of Swimming thing down under here, and I don't know yet if I'm going to do the top part with the little snowflake stuff around. I think I'm going to decide that at the very end. And then the other thing I have to do is I have to go through with black and put the eyes in. I'm just going to do them as a cross stitch eye. It's supposed to be like a French knot, and I consider doing a bead instead, but you know what? I don't. I'm rolling these because I find I like to use the crunchy Ada, and I find that I get creases in them, you can't get them out. So, and as I'm saying this, you can't get them out. I have a shit ton of stuff that's folded upstairs that I need to change to rolls. And these rolls are just from my clinic. I'm a chiropractor. These are head paper rolls, and these are good quality ones. Because we also get good quality paper for our patients. I'm also, just for shits and giggles, because you may or may not need to know this, I'm going to make a bunch of firecrackers with these also in the next couple of weeks, because I'm an MP's office. His name is Bruce Franjoy. He's across the hall from us, and they have a whole bunch of the little paper Canadian flags, so I'm going to ask them if I can borrow some of them and see if I can't do like a little flag on here and have it be like a firecracker thing up here. Not with this one, obviously. This one is being dedicated to my, oops, needle's in the wrong direction. Oop, to my current project. And in, just FYI, I did use the Cultford colors on this because that was the part that I absolutely loved about this pattern, was the colors. And yes, I am a cottage garden sampling fanatic. And because I finished that one thing, I was trying to figure out what I was going to start and everything, but I actually don't feel like starting anything right at this particular moment. So, because I was kind of debating, I usually do, Twin Peaks Primitive is one of my favorite designers. I'm usually doing those. I do a lot of their designs. And Nerdan passed away, sadly. So I was thinking that I would do a pattern in honor of her. So I went through a couple of them and everything, but then I was like, I don't know. Like, so I'm just gonna wait and see how I feel and kind of try over the next week to kind of see what I can get together. There's one that I really want to do, and it is not by her, but it is still a Twin Peaks Primitive pattern, so I might start that one. It is it's my combination of two favorite things I like to stitch. It is a broom. It's been a theme here this year. A broom with chickens flying on it, and I really enjoyed stitching the rooster that I did. That's by Twin Peaks Primitive. Yep. And then okay, and then one last second, I thought I would tell you about my backdrop, and because my beautiful thing here. The tatting stuff is not my tatting stuff. I got a big bag of it at the Baptist church. They have like a yard sale every weekend called the Busy Bee Yard Sale. It's not on the weekends, on Thursdays and Fridays. And I got a huge bag of what somebody had been stitching. Now the thing about it is it smelled like smoke, so I had to wash it. So after you've washed them, they don't quite come out the same. And I admit I did not pin them. or I did not like pin them and starch them again, but that's what these all are. So don't think those are by me, they are by somebody else. These are just plates from the, because it's plates from the church. And then this here is from an exchange I did that was arranged by, she's a kindergarten school teacher. I am blanking on her name. So I did that exchange. Sorry, I'm just, oh my God, now I'm thinking about what other ones I have, but this is one I did that's the, that was the gift pattern from Tiny Modernist last year. And what I'm gonna do is see if I can't finish it on that plate. This is a Carol Manning design. It's one of her little ones. Beside that, this one is a Brenda Gervais. It's in the Halloween book, but I changed it. I took the cat and I made it with a strawberry, and it's stitched on size 11. Size 11 Ada with DMC Pearl Cotton. I have a shit ton of it, so, and it's really fun to stitch on Ada. On that kind of Ada. This is a strawberry, and it is a one that I kind of put together, combined using a Lizzie Kate. And the strawberries for something else, but I can't remember what it was. But it was like a melange of stuff. And then down here is a strawberry I made out of velvet. The velvet, this and that strawberry up there both have the same velvet in the background. That's from the Tattered Flag. I'd really like to go there again, but not crossing the border. So, and then there is Strawberry Farm, which is by the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch. And I didn't do all of the pattern. I find, and I feel like I missed a stitch on that strawberry now that I look at it. Oops. Like I really do. That's gonna make me crazy. But I find that some of her patterns, for me, sometimes her patterns are a little cluttery, so I don't always stitch all of her pattern. And I also, part of the other reason I was thinking is whatever is, I don't think this is all my summer stuff, so that's why I was looking funny there for a second. And then you can't see it, but I have a big bow of lilacs that I just picked this morning that are incredibly pungent off the roadside here. And they will be going into the clinic tomorrow because I'm going to have an allergic reaction if I leave them here. Not like an allergic reaction, it's just, it'll make it uncomfortable. And you know, I don't know about you guys, so I just thought this was kind of fun. What I have started to do is, so I had gotten these plates last year from the Baptist church and from the flea market, the yard sale. I'm going to make, the plan of me getting them is I was trying to get them coordinated together, so I'm going to make a big plate wreath out of them. But you know, I actually really am enjoying using these as my little tatting stations. So that's why you see them all piled on top of here. So that's one, that is two, it's good for the beads too, two, and three. So I might get some of these for my table maids and do it as a little gift thing. Would that be brilliant? And three. This is the, I talked about this before, these are the little, I was making a bunch of these to give out to as well. I don't know, we'll see if we get those done. I'm gonna do the other ones first and then do work back on these again. I'm kind of out of the crocheting mood right now, but that may come back. Alrighty. Yes, and am I enjoying my $50 hutch? You bet I am. It's exactly what I wanted. So funny. I told the she's an adult, okay? But I told her and her husband if there's this other thing that she had on top of her counter, because you know how a lot of people will do a mismatched. They'll take an old hutch top and put it on top of a counter. And I said to her, if she ever decided she's getting rid of that, to message me, because I want it. Anyways, my embarrassment over my worry about the fact that I couldn't get this top into my car because there's a little ledge at the top there. My embarrassment over that and the fact that I had to get my friend's mother to come pick it up is the only thing stopping me from filling this house with hutches. Because I need to figure out how I'm doing storage upstairs of my craft stuff, of course. It may be downstairs too. Yeah. Anyways, on that note, and you're now wondering if I'm going to become a craft hoarder, possibly. I am going to wish you guys happy tatting and happy stitching, and if you're a tatter, just to invite you to enjoy our 3D tatting group, and please post pictures and participate and comment. I really want us to have a good discussion about all the different ways we can add dimensionality, because I realize there is a lot of ways. It's not just about sculptural things, it's also about dimensionality to pattern. Okay, all right, and if you're a cross stitcher and you're just curious, then you're also welcome to join. And if you decide you need to start tatting, then let me know, and I can find you. Then you know, or what I always recommend is to join the online tatting class, and that there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tutorials online. Alrighty, I'm going to wish you happy tatting and happy stitching, and I will check. Oh, sorry. I forgot to show you these ones. This. Oh, yes, I forgot to show you something else too. That'll have to be next time. This is by Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting, free design online. I finished it with felt, craft felt. And then this is my version that I kept. I made 2 of these with a exchange last year done by she loves owls. Her name is Karen. I want to call her the Owly Stitcher, but that is incorrect. I'll tell you next time if I think about it. Or I'll put it in the notes or down at the bottom. Or I may not. Anyways, so that was also from an exchange, but that's my version I kept. I made 2, and the one that turned out the best is the one I sent. Alrighty, so now I'm going to acknowledge that I am done, and I'm going to wish you happy crafting, and I will see you later, okay? Cheers.